Hey guys, how's it going? Are you guys aware that it's daylight savings time? I don't know if you guys were aware of that today. And I was a little worried, I'm gonna be honest. I thought perhaps the crowd would be rather light today because some of you may have forgotten, like I forgot actually. I woke up this morning and I looked at my watch. I'm like, oh no, it's like an hour later. So I was a little bit out of sorts, but we're here and that's what counts. So I hope everybody's doing well. Can you hear me all right? Hope you can. I had a little issue with my sound today and I couldn't get my my guitar to pipe in for whatever reason. I made a couple of other changes with my setup here and I think that may have affected things. So unfortunately, you're gonna have to hear this guitar acoustically today. But anyway, it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. We'll make do with what we have. So guys, thank you for joining me. Show 197 today. And I wanted to say that, actually, you know what? I think I made a mistake. It's actually show 198, if I'm not mistaken. So let me correct that right now. Can I do that? I don't know if I can do that live. Maybe not. Anyway, see what happens when you're not prepared. Let me see here. I want to make it right. My OCD's kicking in. There we go. Is that better? I don't know if you see that live, if that change has been updated live or not. So let's update it on my side. Anyway, yeah, it might not be updated on your side. Whatever. It's show 198, not 197, guys. Just let's leave it at that. I think we're getting really close to show 200, which will be a milestone. And I don't know if we should do something special for that show. What do you guys think? Any suggestions? Something we can do to spice things up a little? If you have any ideas, let me know. I'm always open for suggestions. So we're into, I'm gonna say, beginning of springish kind of thing. Yesterday I was chatting with my son and we were just driving and we had commented, my son commented, hey dad, you know, there's hardly any snow left on the ground. And I said to him, don't say that too loud because you know what happens. You get a surprise by Mother Nature. Mother Nature's like, oh, you think so? You think winter's over, huh? Here's another one. Ah. Well, that's exactly what happened this morning. I woke up this morning to the sound of raindrops, but I looked outside and it was white again. Like we got snow. And I thought it was over. I was seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. But I guess that light was a train, an oncoming train. Anyways, I'm a little fed up of winter, as you can see, as you can probably tell. I guess hopefully this will be the last little dropping of snow, I guess. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of the show. First of all, I want to say, I want to apologize to Marcel. I want to apologize to you, Marcel, because last week when we were chatting, I remember you saying Tony doesn't want to mention me today or whatever, and I wasn't really understanding what you meant because I hadn't seen your post stating that it was going to be your birthday. So I apologize for that, Marcel. I feel like a heel now. I only noticed when I was watching the rerun with all the comments, because sometimes I miss comments. So I apologize, Marcel. I hope you had a really nice birthday, and I hope everything went well and you celebrated like you should. And once again, my apologies, guys. If I don't see your comments for whatever reason, it's not because I'm trying to be rude or anything. It's just because there's so many comments going by and I'm trying to comment on, you know, some of them keeping up. So I might skip some up ahead. I'll try not to do that. but I just wanted to mention that. So let's say good morning to the guys. Music and Gear. Music and Gear's here. And he was talking about blonde color. I didn't get the precursor to those comments, but he's talking about blonde color, and he likes the red one too, but this blonde one just had something. So I don't know what I missed there. Maybe you guys were chatting before the show started. And he says a set neck Telecaster with SD pickups, just wow. So I'm assuming that you're getting, or you got, a brand new guitar and you're loving it, and you see more Duncan pickups in it. So that's always a really nice way to start your day, is with a nice set neck Telecaster. Eddie's here, and Mark's looking at Telecasters online. And of course, working as usual. Trying to listen and not get caught. I appreciate that. And Marcel, like we mentioned, is here this morning. Ben is here. Ken. Gene. Who else? Gene. Steven is here. He says he was abducted by aliens last night. I have missing time. I hate when that happens, Steven. By the way, Steven, I sent you a little something by mail. Hopefully it'll get to you soon. Hopefully it'll get to you. Never mind soon. But let me know when it does arrive. So let's see if anybody is already. Eddie says it's 5 a.m. in California. Now that's dedication. Jumping in on the chat at 5 a.m. You guys are awesome. Awesome. I appreciate that. I'm rocking the Kramer today. Yes, Music and Gear. I haven't played this one in a while, and I forgot how good it feels with the Vega Trem on it. Did modify this one with the Vega Trem, as you guys could probably see it there, and it's a great guitar. Love it. Now that it's all stealthy and black, I just wish I had sound. I love the I don't know if you can hear those gurgles. That's the sign of a good trem, when you can do the gurgles and it comes back to pitch and sounds great. We have Time Surfing Alien here this morning. I like your avatar. Very cool, very cool. Welcome. If you guys are new, of course, I have to mention it because some of you are new. You have to be subscribed to be able to chat, so please subscribe, then you can jump right in. I gotta say that a couple of times. Some of you might jump in later and not understand. That's how it works. Let's see here. D-Max says, hey Tony, I saw the Silver Sun pickups at Montreal's Beanfield Theatre last week. Great show. Cool venue. I think Rival Sun played there last year. Definitely recommended for seeing live bands. I haven't been to that location yet, I'm ashamed to say, but I would really love to take a look and go there and see somebody new, somebody I haven't already enjoyed in the past. St. Brando says, good morning, Tony. If we cut off the bottom of a blanket and sew it to the top of the blanket, does that make the blanket longer? I believe it does. I believe it does. Somebody's been listening to some comedy, I can tell. Time Surfing Alien says, here in Alabama we call it first summer. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. The teaser summer, I like to call it. Jean-Pierre says, a get-together party at a nice restaurant would be nice. It would be nice, except I don't know if anybody would be willing to fly into, to Montreal from where they're located. I don't think we have that many locals here, maybe a couple. Martin is here. Good morning, Martin. New Fender FMT in blonde, it says Music and Gear. There we go. So congratulations on that guitar. Always nice to have a new guitar by your side in the morning. How much playtime have you put on it so far, Music and Gear? Are you breaking it in nicely like you should? Presley's here. Good morning, Presley. I was enjoying you guys this week. Presley and Charles have a little show going on as well, and they're on from time to time, so if you can catch them, jump on their show. It's very entertaining. I don't always catch you, but I got an opportunity to say hi, so I jumped in for a little while there. Looked like you had some very cool conversation going on. Kudos to you guys for keeping it up. Awesome job. Eddie says, first stupid question. Eddie, there's no stupid questions. Price being the same, should I plek or have a luthier do the frets? That's actually a very good question. And I think that, you know, it's a good question. I don't know. I really don't know. How can I put this and not, I mean, the technology that is being used with a Plek machine is very accurate. And it's quicker, but it's expensive. It's not cheap, right? Well, expensive. I mean, relatively speaking, if you get a luthier to do it, you know, he'll charge you quite a bit as well because it's hourly rates, right? And it does take a little bit of time to do it right. You know, it goes down. It comes down to like, what would you rather have, a CNC carved guitar body or a hand carved guitar body? At the end, if the labor is skilled, you can get a very accurately made body, handmade, right? And it wouldn't be necessarily any, you know, less good. Is that even English? Than a CNC machine. But CNC would always be repeatable and accurate, right? To the sometimes microns, depending on how good the machine is. So I would say you can't go wrong with a Plek machine because it's going to be repeatable. So if a luthier has a bad day, is tired, you know, is not paying attention, maybe he's overloaded with too much work and trying to get through it quickly, it might be a little less accurate, where a machine really doesn't get tired, right? So there's that. You know, so I know I'm not really answering your question. I'm kind of flip-flopping. It really depends. That's the answer I can give you. I guess that's the diplomatic answer. It really depends who's doing the work. But if you're going to somebody that's just a so-so luthier and you don't really trust all that much and whatever, maybe it's a good guitar that you really like and you want to have it done accurately, a Plek machine is pretty accurate, man. I don't know if anybody agrees with me or disagrees with me there, but that's my 2 cents for the day. Thank you. Good night. Just kidding, guys. I'm getting a little goofy. Mississippi Blues, good afternoon in the UK. So if anybody has any other questions, shoot. That's why we're here, man. That's why we're here. The live shows are all about questions. Question and a Q&A. As much as we can. We squeeze in as many questions as we can during an hour or so. Davis says, what pickup did you put in the Kramer? This is a Seymour Duncan. This is a JB. And I didn't put it in there. It wasn't there when I bought the guitar. So it's like a little extra, a little perk. Considering, you know, the pickup is easily almost the entire cost of the guitar. If you buy it new, you know, these guitars are not that expensive, right? At least they weren't when I bought them. I think they were $299 at the time, but I bought this one used. So I think I paid like $200 for it. You know, knocked off about $100. $100 less, but the pickup was already installed. So I thought it was a good deal. And I blacked out the hardware and put in the Vega trem. So now this guitar is no longer, I'd say, worth, you know, $299. The Vega trem itself costs more than that. And the pickup is quite a bit more expensive. So I think the upgrades on this guitar probably brought it to about the $600 price range or so. Somewhere around there. And I really like it. This is an earlier one. This one is, they had earlier models and later models, like the ones they're making now. This one was, I guess, part of the first run, which I think is very nice. And I have the other one, which is part of the second run. And they do feel a little different. Not much, but they do. Saint Brando says, instead of buying gear, I sold some gear yesterday. Fender Blues Deluxe. Bye-bye. Well, we applaud that, Saint Brando, because, you know, the first steps to admitting you have a problem, right, is basically knowing that you have too much gear. You know, I know this is the wrong place to say that because we're all addicted to gear here, but I've been through it. And sometimes it feels good. Doesn't it feel good when you get rid of some stuff? Doesn't it feel like you're liberating yourself slowly? But I know that if you sold your Blues Deluxe, perhaps the main reason for that is because you're eyeballing something new. Am I wrong? And be honest. Because sometimes we say, no, I'm just, I'm not eyeballing anything. I'm just clearing out some stuff. But at the back of our mind, the little lizard brain is saying, yeah, just put it somewhere for now, that little extra cash, because you never know. There might be something. So Marcel says for his birthday he ordered IV IPF 300 and a Ashtop thin line acoustic electric. I'm into cheap guitars. Now, is that Ashtop meaning is that a brand, or are you trying to say Ashtop? Because sometimes people do make typos, and sometimes I'm correcting things that I shouldn't be correcting, Marcel. But you know what? Sometimes 2 cheap guitars is better than 1 expensive guitar. So that's a nice birthday present for yourself there. So you ordered that. Did you get it yet, Marcel? You're still waiting for it to arrive? And Time Surfing Alien says, waiting on a new neck in the mail. Going to finish my build. So what are you building? Did you already mention what you were building, or did I miss it, or did I forget? Oh man, I just dropped my pick. I hate when that happens. And that's one of my favorite picks too. Oh well, I'll get it later. I actually got a really nice pick that I'm using, and it's made. That one was the one that's on the floor is made out of actually a horn, animal horn. And I've tried not to lose it so hard, and it's black and it's small. It's the size of a jazz pick, and I keep dropping it, and it's hard to see on my dark floors. So many times I've come close to losing it, and it's like my heart breaks. I'm like, oh no, don't tell me I lost it. That's the disadvantage of getting expensive picks. When you lose it, it hurts, and eventually you always lose it. So who's been practicing like good boys, and who's been falling off the wagon, so to speak? Gene says we should do a nude 200th episode, and it might help our subscriptions. I don't know about that, Gene. I don't know if it's going to help our subscriptions. The only way I do that is if everybody jumps in. We do like a group session. And I don't mind because you only see me from here to here, so it's not that bad, right? Well, we can all tell where Gene's mind is this morning. In the gutter. Right, Gene? I like the suggestions. Keep them coming. I'll evaluate that. I'll think about that. Randy's here. Hey, Randy. Let the party begin. He says, just arrived. Much love from Southern Illinois. Nice to see you here, Randy. Okay, I'm going to jump down to the chats a little bit further down because I'm a little slow today. I'll maybe go the other way. Good morning, Billy Beers. DL is here. And he's been a good boy, he says. According to who, DL? It all depends who you ask. Steven says, playing every single day, still need to get a practice routine down. That's a really good idea. And that's always the hardest thing to keep up, is a practice routine. You know, you almost have to schedule some time in. It's very difficult to keep things going, but a good practice routine definitely goes a long way. Marcel says the Ivy should be in tomorrow, and the Ashtorp should be in 1 to 2 weeks. Marcel, where did you order those from? Did you order them from Amazon? Did you order them from another good online source? Mark is here. Hey Mark. Yes, a lot of snow in Montreal. Isn't it terrible? I can't stand it. I woke up this morning, I couldn't believe my eyes. You know, I usually wake up and there's people already posting comments on Facebook, and some friends of mine posted pictures of like snow, and I'm like, I wonder where they went to have that snow. Little did I know it was waiting for me outside. Then I looked outside and I'm like, oh no. Anyways, Mark says he's in Charlevoix, 15 centimeters so far with the throw up emoji, and that's exactly how I feel too, Mark. Hang in there, buddy. You know, hopefully it's going to be the last one. Anyways, they say it's going to warm up today, so maybe even by tomorrow it'll be gone again, hopefully. We'll see. Hey, Jamel. Nice to see you, man. Stoop Up says the best thing I did was have an always-on solution, no prep needed to practice. So what does that mean, an always-on solution? So you just, everything, like you leave your amp on all the time and your guitar plugged in, ready to go? Is that it? Interesting. Marcel says Amazon is where I bought all my guitars. Well, that's cool, Marcel. And the good thing about buying stuff on Amazon is if you don't like it, you can always send them back. Usually they have a really good return policy, right? That's cool. All right, I'm scrolling a little backwards here a little bit just to see what I missed. There's other questions here. Did the bone pick change the way you hold the pick? Not really, because the pick that I had, and I should really get that pick, but I don't want to dive underneath. Oh, it's right here. I'm going to show you something here. It didn't really change the way. Oh, and there's another pick down there too. Holy mackerel. I hit the jackpot. Excuse me, guys. I'll be right back. That's one. And here's another one. Oh, man. I'm sure if I look carefully, there'll be 3 or 4 more down there. All right. So here's what I was trying to explain. So this is one of the picks that I'm using here. Can you see that? So it's the size of a jazz pick. It's made of bone. Well, not bone. It's made of a horn, actually. You see it has a divot in there? Can you see that? So one side has a divot, the other side doesn't. So your thumb fits right in the divot, and it's a little thick. Can you see the thickness there? It's a thick pick compared to, let's say, a usual pick. I'll put them two side by side. You can see that. Can you see the difference between the thickness in those two picks? So this is a Herco pick, I believe. Yeah, Herco pick. That's a Herco pick that I use also from time to time. And this is the horn. And if I drop them on my desk here, I'll drop them next to the mic. I don't know if you can hear the difference, but I'm going to show you this for those of you that care. And this is kind of a scientific test, okay? So this is the Herco pick. Listen to the sound. All right, now this is the bone, the horn. Listen to the sound. Can you hear the difference? So this one's way denser, and it has much more of immediate attack. Doesn't flex. Doesn't flex at all compared to the Herco pick, which flex. It flexes a lot, so the attack is not as immediate with the flexible picks compared to this. So that's why I like this one quite a bit. And that's the lesson for today. Thank you. Good night. That joke's already getting old. Yeah, zero flex. That's exactly right, Stephen. Randy wants to know, did everyone see the Ed Sheeran looper pedal? 1,300 or 300? I didn't see it. No. Should I go look at it? Is it interesting? Why is that looper pedal that expensive? Beyond the fact that it's got his name on it. You can get a lot of looper pedals for less than that. Can I put a link to the bone pick? Yeah, I can do that for you. Sure, absolutely. Where's my little container? Oh man, I put it in the box, didn't I? Damn it. All right. I put my... hold on a second. Where's my container? Here it is. All right, I think it's in here. This is my, that's the box where, that's the box where I keep all my, excuse me, picks and stuff and whatnot. There's the rest of them. So I don't lose them. I put them in these little containers. So this is the site. Okay, it's called the timbertones.com, and I'll put it in the link. And don't be misled, okay? Let me just type this for you guys. Okay, I put it in the chat. It's called timbertones.com. Now they have various types of picks from stone, wood, bone, horn, all kinds of materials, and I have a bunch of them in here. And like, look at this one. This one looks like jewelry. This one is actually made of a stone. Look how thick this thing is. You could play bass with this thing. It's the same idea, but much, much thicker, and it goes down to a point. Can you see that? Isn't that crazy? That's wild. So if I play with this one, has a... You'd be surprised because it's thick on one end, but it goes down to a point on the other end. So it doesn't really feel like that the pick is really thick, but it is. And this is another one, another version. Maybe you can see better. There you go. Look at that. Now, these are really, really nice picks. Like, they're expensive, but they're nice. See, this is the one I was. Look at this guy. It's like jewelry. It's like, I don't know what it's made out of, but it's really nice. So anyway, they have a whole bunch there. And if you like that kind of stuff, here's another one, a little bit thinner. See, it's got texture on it. Anyway, they have really nice picks there. Go and take a look. Find a couple. Try them out. You might be surprised. And they're not cheap, but you're not going to get picks like that at your regular store. And of course, if you have those, you want to keep them. You don't want to lose them and drop them like I do all over the place. But anyways, I endorse these guys. I think they make really good stuff. And I'm just gonna put that away. If I don't think it's good, I don't say it's good. It's simple as that. So Billy likes my chair. He says it's a really nice chair. This chair goes back to when I was playing drums. Billy, this is a drum. It's a drum throne, they call it. Yeah, it's very nice. It's very comfortable for my behind. Check this guy out. So this is another one, same company. Can you see that? Look at this. It's got designs on the front. This is also made of horn. Look at the edges on that pick. It's crazy. If I drop this one, you can hurt somebody with this one. Anyways, they're really unique, and some of them come in these really nice little containers like that. timber tones. And they also have a little bag, like it's almost like jewelry. You know, like in the old days when they would put like silver shillings in a little bag and toss it off the horse to the peasants below. Anyways, that's my 2 cents for today. Yes, they are kind of made for right and left players. I wonder, I guess it's where they put the divot and where they put the design. Anyway. Steven says, I saw an interview with the Ingui and he said that he was leaning towards less flexi picks for speed and accuracy. I agree that less flexi picks, if that's the technical term for it, less flexi, definitely will, I think, give you more of a faster playing because you don't have to wait for the pick to bend and come back. But everybody has their own preference, and these, you know, the plain old jazz picks are my cheap go-to whenever I can't find a good pick. This is a Dunlop version. These are good if you like to get some thumb meat for the squeals. These are good because they're really small, so you can easily do that. And you can see the difference in the size here. They're almost the Timber Tones one. I don't know if I could put that there. The Timber Tones one is almost the same size, but much thicker. All right, enough talking about picks. And then of course you get these picks. These are the cheapy huge picks for if you're playing acoustic. These are good. Anyways. And then there's these picks. I don't know if you guys ever tried these picks. These are actually pretty good too. They're called Dandria XH picks. These ones are pretty good because they're kind of the same material, well, no, the same size as a regular pick, but a little bit thicker. And they do have a little flex, but not as much. All right, let's get, before we make everybody fall asleep here, let's talk about other things. Marcel says, PJC makes nice plectrum bottles. They do, and they're cheap, Marcel. They're very cheap. $150 different materials. You can pretty much make guitar picks from anything, right? Why guitar volume so low? Keith, you just came in, Keith. I think you missed the beginning of the show. The guitar volume's low because I'm having trouble connecting today. I had changed my setup a little bit, and usually I go through my FM9 into my DAW here, and then the DAW gets picked up by my computer, and today, for whatever reason, it's not working. And because I was in a rush with the time change and everything, I didn't have time to figure it out and troubleshoot it. So the guitar is plugged in. I meant to be playing today, but unfortunately, no can do. Sorry. So it's an acoustic version today. We're doing the unplugged version of the show. David says maybe for the 200th show, we all send in a selfie with a favorite guitar. Now that's a good idea, Davis. I like that idea. Hey, yes, I like that. Let's do that. How about that, guys? You guys are up for that? I think if you're up for it, I think that would be very, very cool. So I can actually see all you guys and put a face to the name and show a guitar. And how about this? I'll even sweeten the deal. If you guys send me a picture of yourself with your favorite guitar, a nice smiley picture of you and your guitar, for the 200th show, I'll give away a pedal. I'll give away one of my pedals that I reviewed on this show as a gift. And you know what? Even if you don't have a guitar, some of you may not even have a guitar and you're tuning in, and that's okay. You can even just send a picture of you. And unfortunately, though, if you don't have a guitar, the pedal would be kind of useless. So I would say to be in the draw, you would have to have a guitar of some sort. How's that? We can draw. I like that idea. Let's do it. That's the plan. All right. Settled then. Awesome. Awesome. Great idea. Thank you so much. I like that idea, Davis. I appreciate that. Whoever thinks that's a good idea, give me a thumbs up. How's that? Whoever doesn't think it's a good idea, you can give me... No, don't give me a thumbs down. Just say good idea, bad idea. How's that? So my email. I can do it right here, and hopefully you guys will... I'll maybe even make a little video for you guys. You can send it to my... what is my email? Let me see here. I'm going to post it for you guys, okay? Where's the elevator music while I'm doing this? All right, this is where you got to send it to. All right? Addicted to Gear with the number 2 live@gmail.com. Okay? And I'll even do a little video. I'll post it on my channel. I'll post it later today so that you guys have time. You got 2 shows. Remember, it says 198 down here. Sorry, 197, but it's actually show 198. I updated it on my side, but it didn't show. Right? It was 198. So you have 2 shows to like get your act together and take a selfie, a picture, and send it in. And remember, it has to be your name. Let's say you put your handle that you use here, and then maybe your name, and send it in. Hey Zach, nice to see you, man. Good morning to you. Wayne says, Tony, do you remember me telling you about using 2-part ABS plastic and custom molding them to my thumb and index finger? They work great. I'd love to see a photo of that, Wayne. That'd be pretty cool. Send it to me, man. Stu Pop says, who else is like, I have to pick one guitar? Yeah, pick one guitar, or maybe 2. You have 2 hands. How about your first favorite and your second favorite? Making it even easier. Boom. How's that? Time Surfing Alien says, time limit. The time limit is the 200th show. And we'll draw the winner at the 200th show. So it's show 198 today. Not 197, not that one. That's wrong. 198 is the right number. Next week is 199, and the week after that is 200. So you basically have 2 weeks. Plenty of time. So I'll mention the rules in my video. How's that? I like it. I like that idea. I like the fact that we're going to be able to make that connection. And the email's in the chat, guys, okay? I'll put it again at the end of the show. so you guys don't forget. Eddie, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for supporting the channel. You guys are awesome. Vox says, where do I send it? I put the email up above, Vox, in the comment section. Here, I'll put it one more time for you guys. And that's the email, addictedtogear@gmail.com. All right? Sounds good? Done. All right. Let me just jump back into what we were talking about before we got off the rails a little bit with this. Well, not really off the rails. Almost. What else have you guys been watching lately? I think there's been a lot of chat about different things in the realm of the YouTube channels. There's been a lot of buzz about the Jimmy Page double neck custom shop guitar from Gibson. That's been something that's been being talked about a lot. There's the new Dave Grohl model of Epiphone, which looks cool. What else? There's that. There's the new, I think there's a new model also out. Who's the, hold on a second, guys. I'm getting my thoughts crossed here. I believe Chris Shiflett also has a new model out as well from Fender. Isn't that right? So those are interesting new additions. A lot of people are a little upset at the price points that the new Dave Grohl model's coming in at, because it seems like the Epiphone prices are going up. They are being nudged up quite a bit. Used to be you could get an Epiphone for a lot less. Now the prices are going up a little bit more, like everything else, unfortunately. But how many of you like that Dave Grohl model? I kind of like it. I'm a big fan of the 335 model. But this one's a little different. The only thing I kind of am not 100% sold on is the headstock, because it's not a typical Gibson headstock. It's got like a, it's a custom guitar, right? But it's, in Canada, that guitar is selling for almost $2,000. It's $1,899 before taxes. So you're getting into Gibson pricing there, I think. And okay, last week I was trying to show you stuff, and it didn't work. I don't know if it's going to work this time. Let me see here. Hold on. And it's still not working. It's a shame. I don't know why, but I can't seem to share my screen anymore. I'm gonna have to switch programs here that I'm using, because I like to share my screens. I can't do it anymore. I don't understand why that is. Anyway, what I'm trying to show here is that the Epiphone model, Dave Grohl model, which is the DG335 semi-hollow body, is $1,899 Canadian here in my local area. So you add the taxes to that, you're paying $2,000 for an Epiphone. Ouch, it's a little expensive. I understand this is kind of like a custom special version because it's a Dave Grohl model, but you can get these guitars all day long off of from China, and you can get them for about $300 to $400. Now, I'm not saying to do that, and I'm not saying the quality is going to be as good, but if you want to get that guitar and you're good at working on guitars, you can possibly source out a good one and save yourself quite a bit of money for upgrades. You can easily then upgrade the pickups in that guitar, the electronics, everything, hardware, and you're still going to be ahead. Again, I'm not telling you to do that. Just saying it's an option. And it is indeed old Gibson pricing, Wayne, exactly. Stu Pop says, buy a vintage Trini Lopez and be cooler. Yeah, I wish I could afford one. Are there any for sale? The real ones? Let me check out Reverb. See if I can find one. So here, it's funny because I just typed in the name Trini Lopez in Google, and it came up with, it's funny because it came up with one high quality China electric guitar. This is off AliExpress. Exactly the same looking guitar, $363. And I'm looking at that one right now. And that's Canadian, by the way. So, and would I be able to tell the difference between this one and the one they're selling? No, it's pretty much identical. Free shipping, and you can get it by April if you order it now. Nice. It's a very nice looking guitar, by the way. I mean, just by the pictures I'm looking at here. Too bad I can't share these with you, but anyways, do your searching and you will possibly find something cool. Again, I don't endorse buying knockoffs, but it's just funny that it did pop up on my feed here. But you can get a real one off of Reverb if you want, a Gibson version. It's a Gibson Custom Shop 64 Trini Lopez Standard. Very nice looking guitar, by the way. And this one is selling, let's see here. This one's selling for a little bit more, not that much. It's selling for, should I tell you how much it's selling for? Yeah, I'm just looking at I'm just going through the pictures. Really nice looking guitar, by the way, I gotta say. Okay, so this guitar is selling for, I lost it now. Oh man. Used, it's $29,214. $29,000, man. Ay. Oy vey, 29,000. But if you got the dough, like I always say, there's a lot of competition because there's one here being sold for, it's a first run 2007 model, and they're asking for 16. Then there's another there's this one and 29,000. Then there's another one listed just below it, and that one's, they're asking only 16,000. And it's also located in Canada, in Calgary. So it's Canadian dough, I guess. $150 shipping. Metallic gold, this one. Nice looking guitar. It's giving me gas. Anyways, it's better if I don't look at it. Better if I don't look. John says, oh no, did you change the clocks? I've missed most of the show, haven't I? Yes, unfortunately. It is daylight saving time here in Montreal. So it caught me off guard too, John. This morning I'm looking at my watch. I'm like, wait a minute. What's going on? So it is a little bit, it's an hour ahead of time. That means tomorrow I got to get up an hour earlier, which kills me. But the good news is when you get home, there's still plenty of daylight, which is always a good thing. Gene says Amazon still uses my picture with my eArt. What do you mean they're using your picture? Is that on the reviews, Gene? Is that where your picture's showing up? So, you know who else is actually celebrating a birthday? We were talking about Marcel's birthday coming, that came up recently. You know who else is celebrating a birthday? Our own Phil X. It's birthday today. I know he's not watching. He doesn't usually participate in these shows. and that's a shame. I would love to have him here. Maybe one day he'll pop in. That would be really cool. I love Phil X. He's an awesome guitarist, an awesome dude, and a lot of fun. And it's his birthday today, so happy birthday to Phil. And I don't know if anybody else is celebrating a birthday here this week, but if you are, put it in the chat. We'll talk about it. So I did a recent video last week on a I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it properly. I say Timu or Tamu, or I don't know how you pronounce these names, but anyway, I was looking for inexpensive guitar parts and pedals and whatnot, and I decided to check out this new site. It's kind of like AliExpress or Alibaba. It's just another version. It's called Temu or Timu. Anyway, I did a video on that, and I did review a couple of things that I got off that website just to see if it was any good. And one of the things that I did review, or two things that I did, well, I didn't really review them. I showed it in that video, and I'll do a full playthrough later on. But oh man, this is heavy. I did show this guy, which is a Moval Jump Space pedal. This is an overdrive. And this guy, which is they just call it a classic chorus, which is basically a knockoff of some sort. And I just very, very briefly just played something through these pedals just to make you hear that they do work. They weren't defective or anything. But I didn't do a full actual review of those pedals yet. I do have some feeling of how they sound and whatnot. And they're not bad. They're very inexpensive. And one other thing that I wanted to mention, you know how I'm sticking my pedals on this pedal board? I'm putting that blue stuff, the blue sticky stuff. What do you call that? I don't know if you can see that here. Underneath here, maybe you can see that. You know, the little blue sticky stuff that you use? It actually works really well on this pedal board. Look at that. They don't even come off. And you can pull them off and reuse them. It's better than putting Velcro, in my opinion. So I learned something new with that. Just scrolling down here, guys. It says here, Time Surfing Alien, have you checked out the Marty Schwartz Epiphone? I didn't know he had an Epiphone. Why does Marty have an Epiphone? No, I didn't check it out. Keith says, take a look at the SG Supreme Triple AAA Maple Top. Translucent finish. Almost bought one. I did look at those, Keith, but to me, I find that they're a little bit too fancy. I like the rock and roll look of the standard SG. And although the Supremes look amazing, they look really nice, but it's kind of, to me, it kind of changes the mojo. It just makes them a little bit fancier than I would have liked. They're really nice. Don't get me wrong. I like the fact that they're putting more attention, and the inlays are different, and you have the flame tops, and it's a really nice looking guitar. It's almost like it's getting into kind of PRS territory with the SGs, you know. Look, I got my SG, I got my regular SG, and I got an Epiphone version of the special, and I'm happy with those. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna buy another one, but you know, I'm happy with those for now. I haven't actually upgraded the tuners on the Epiphone version yet, because that's the only thing I didn't like about that guitar is the tuners. I didn't really I didn't change the tuner. I'm not thinking about changing the tuners on that guitar because they're bad. They work. I just don't like the look of them. They look cheap. So I ended up getting these Kluson tuners, and I'm going to put these on. I'm kind of waiting for the strings to die on that guitar so I can do the upgrade, because I just changed the strings recently and I don't want to just pull them off and change them for no reason. But so the idea would be to change them and install these. So these are, you know, the Kluson style tuners like that, the standard ones. They look more like Gibson tuners. That's what I'm going to put on there. So I'm just waiting for that. I'm waiting for the tuners, the tuner swap based on the lifespan of those strings. So if I play the strings more often, I'll get to changing the tuners quicker. Steven says I've got to upgrade the caps on my Ampeg with flux capacitor so I can go from 100 watts to 1.21 gigawatts. If you can do a video, Steven, of how you do the upgrade, the mod, I'd be looking at that. I'd be watching that. Yeah, let's say Stu Pop says, yesterday was my 33rd wedding anniversary. Stu, congratulations to you and your lovely wife. Hopefully, what's your secret, Stu? To a long, successful marriage, 33 years. That's awesome. John says, oh, well, in a few weeks, we will stop daylight savings time, and that will bring the show back to midnight my time. These 2:30 a.m. starts during our summer were tough. And I'm sorry to hear that, John. I really am. Maybe I'll have to like rethink the time slot a little bit. I don't think there's a good time slot for everyone, unfortunately. Yeah, blue tack, John. That's exactly it. Wayne says, Stu Pop, congratulations. Marriage is not for the weak. You have to make compromises, guys, but it's all good. It's all good. Marcel says, I ordered guitar related stuff on Temu, and now my Wish app is suggesting only guitar related stuff. So probably the same company in the background. I have a feeling, Marcel, that these companies are all in cahoots. It's probably one company that owns them all, and they're all spin-offs of the same sort. I would say something like that. Stu Pop says, well, first, Saint Brando says the SG screams rock and roll. I agree. It definitely does. Definitely a cool guitar to have. That SG. I recommend SGs to everyone. Stu Pop says, Tony, if you're taking a pick with your favorite guitar, which one are you grabbing? Well, I'm gonna leave that for the 200th show as well. I'm gonna put a picture of myself holding my first and second favorite guitar, and it's gonna be very difficult for me to choose. So I agree with some of you saying that it's not gonna be an easy thing. And honestly, the reality of it, if I had to choose my favorite guitar, it would probably change on a weekly basis. Like if you would ask me this week, what are your two favorite guitars? They would probably be two completely different guitars. Because that's why I have so many guitars. I can't necessarily just pick one. They're all great for different reasons. It depends on what state of mind you're in, what you're playing at that time, you know, what kind of groove you're in. I would grab a different guitar. You know, it's funny because if you're playing different types of music, like for example, you know, I play with a band. My band, we do covers, and we do covers of a whole bunch of stuff. And generally, I would say the majority of the time we're doing covers of classic rock tunes, just because that's what we like. We're all kind of old timers, you know, we're all kind of in the same age group, and that's the music we were listening to back in the day that we like. So we end up playing a lot of these older tunes. So you know, I gravitate towards Stratocasters, Telecasters, SGs, Gibsons, things like that. But however, like, you know, sometimes we'll throw in a new type of, a new song, a new, let's say in a style that we don't normally play. Like, for example, we're playing the song from Creed called Higher, which I don't usually play that kind of music with the drop D tunings and the heavier melodies and that kind of stuff. So if I was playing that song or more of those type songs, I probably wouldn't grab a Telecaster. You know, I wouldn't, because it's not really made for that kind of thing. So I definitely grab a guitar with humbuckers and maybe something with a Floyd on it, maybe even something like that guy. You know, so this is the Harley Benton guitar, which is really a sweet sounding guitar, and it plays really well. So I probably would grab that, or I probably would grab you know, one of my PRS guitars. It's more in line with what's being played on the album anyway. So it really does depend on what you're playing and how you're playing it, and you know, what type of music you're gravitating towards at the time. Vox says, my SG is a Dylan 61. I actually prefer it to the Gibsons I tried out before buying it. Yeah, there's so many different aspects to a guitar. It's not just about the look, you know, it's the feel too, right? I tried out so many Gibsons in my day, and they all, you know, they don't all feel the same. Same thing with the SG. I tried a lot of SGs back in the day, and they didn't talk to me at all. They didn't talk to me. And then when I tried the one I have now, totally different. You know, so it took me a long time to realize that they're not all the same, and you got to try quite a few before making that decision. So keep looking, man, keep looking. Gene says, I ordered parts to move my SG jack to the side of the body, a kit SG from Amazon. Yeah, if you put it, you know, that's one of the things with the SGs. It's very peculiar. They don't have the output jack on the bottom. They have it on the front, which is sort of not practical in many ways. Vox says, I prefer the jack on the front. It gets in the way when I play sitting down on the side. Yeah, it depends where you put it. I think the company that made a really good choice is Charvel. On some of their new guitars, they have the Fender type jack that usually is in the front here. You know, Fender had it right by putting the jack at an angle like that. Back in the day, it stayed out of the way. Now, Charvel did one better. They put it on the back side, and they cut a little chamfer in the back of the guitar to make it even less obtrusive, which I think is really cool. I have a guitar like that. So you can sit down with it and it doesn't get in the way at all. Steven says the trick to using Velcro is to clean the surface with 91% alcohol first, but make sure you got your position perfect. Once it touches, it's like contact cement. Yeah, I know. And that's the thing. The thing that I don't like about using Velcro is that it picks up a lot of hair and dirt and dust and stuff. So when I had my dog, I would get hair in the Velcro all the time, dog hair. And if you guys have a dog, you know what I'm talking about. Eddie says, I was playing some Jackson Dinkies at Guitar Center yesterday. Cheap guitars, but they actually felt good. Great mod platform. Yeah, I used one for exactly that. Got a really cheap one, modified it, and it's a cool guitar. Gives you that 90s vibe. Well, 90s, the 80s vibe, I should say. So that's a very cool, cheap, and expensive guitar. All right. Should we talk about the poll question? There is a poll question today. Let's talk about not Sweetwater, but the Sam Ash news. You guys heard about that? Sam Ash is closing about half of their stores, which is never a good thing. Unfortunately, I think the reality we're living in today is that a lot of brick and mortar stores are moving to the online model. And unfortunately, due to that, we're going to have less places to actually try out guitars before we buy them. But unfortunately, that is the sign of the times, that a lot of these guitar stores are turning into showrooms where people will walk in, try a guitar that they like or are interested in, play it, put it back on the shelf, and just walk away and order it online. So not a big surprise, right? And Sweetwater is the largest retailer of music gear today in the United States, and they only have one physical store. I think it's one physical store in a big warehouse. That's about it. So that's unfortunately the times we're living in. But that's what we have to deal with, unfortunately. So let's jump to the poll question, shall we? Let me see here. So the poll question was a question that is a little bit more on the serious side. And I think you guys, some of you answered the poll question. Let's see. How many people have answered? 159 votes. All right. So the poll question was, have you ever considered quitting playing guitar or music altogether? So a pretty serious question here today. And the answers to that is, there was four questions, four possible answers. Number one was, no, I've never even considered it. And that's me. I don't think I've actually considered quitting, ever. There was times where maybe I've become frustrated or a little bit discouraged when I wasn't necessarily learning quickly. And, especially early on, it's challenging when you're starting. So, but I always really loved playing guitar, and I wouldn't necessarily consider quitting. So 48% of you said, no, I've never even considered quitting. So that's about half. The second most popular answer is, I've quit, but resumed playing after coming to my senses. So a lot of you have kind of jumped to the other side temporarily and then come back, which is, I'm glad that people are, coming back after quitting, but you got to stick with it, folks. You got to stick with it. It's not easy, but anything that's not easy is even worth more in the long run once you actually get over the hump and get successful at it. Yeah, Shane's here. Hey, Shane, how's it going, buddy? Nice guitar. Shane bought a really cool Les Paul, and he bought it for $1,350 US, he says. He shared some pictures online on his Instagram, and a great find. Looks like a keeper, Shane. Congratulations on that. Always great when you get a good deal. All right, back to the poll question. It says, so the third most popular answer is, yes, I've seriously thought about quitting at times. 23% of you. So the frustration level is there to a certain degree. And then thankfully, the last most popular question, only 4% of you say, I quit and no longer play music. Now I just listen. So that's, I guess, unfortunately, that's some of the realities that we're living with. And maybe we realize that we're not necessarily cut out to be musicians. And hey, even if I suck, I'm sticking with it, guys. I don't care what anybody says. And some of the answers are really nice. So somebody here mentions, he says, I gave up almost 45 years ago, then came to my senses and realized music is a big part of my life. And I would say that I fit into that description pretty well as well. I wouldn't necessarily want to go through life without a guitar in my hands. And then we have Smooth Rock says, I just started playing less than 2 years ago and I don't plan to ever quit. So he's hooked. Hook, line, and sinker. And then JD says, I've had to quit and considered quitting but always due to external factors beyond my control. At the end of the day, all I really want to do is play music. So even though he's got a rough time, he's still sticking with it, which is very cool. And another viewer says, every time I'm learning something difficult, I just want to throw it in the corner. I understand that feeling 100%. Jeff says, I stopped playing for about 12 years when the kids were young. Only really had time for one thing outside of family, and I was playing rugby pretty seriously then. A back injury forced me out of the game, so I dug out my old guitar after finding all the bits and joined the band. That was 2001. I've not stopped playing or gassing since. So that's the cool thing, right? The cool thing is, even if you come back to it many, many years later, it's kind of like riding your bicycle. You know, it's just, sometimes it just takes that little spark to get you back into it, which is cool. That's part of the reason why I love music so much. And Danielle here says, I've had periods of reduced playing during company travel during a period of intense black and white film photography. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, you know, juggling work, family, and other obligations and still finding time to practice and play, especially if you're in a band, which requires more dedication, is not always an easy thing. Shane says, Bloodburst Orange. Are you talking about the color of my eyeballs this morning after having to get up a little earlier due to daylight savings time, or are you referring to your guitar there, Shane? Just kidding. I know it's your guitar. And Vox says, I play guitar because I love it, not because I'm good at it. Kind of like me. Simon says, I just invested in a Jazzmaster Squire brand and few new acoustic and electrics by East Coast. So Simon did a little shopping spree there. Very nice. Jazzmaster Squire, nice placed, nice type of guitar to have. A lot of people do enjoy those Jazzmasters quite a bit. And Randy says, I lost my mojo for 10 years and kind of came back. It's cool. I'm just a hack, a roadie gone rogue. Rico says, good morning from the other side of the continent. Eddie's laughing his ass off there. And Wayne says, what the hell, Fat? I thought you hated Gibson. Everybody comes around eventually. Hey, you gotta have at least one, right? To hate Gibson, you kind of have to own a Gibson, right? To know what you're hating. So maybe this will change his mind. Who knows? I think Shane's coming around. Who knows what he's going to come out with next? Maybe even a PRS. All right, guys. I think we're going to wrap it up for today. We've been chatting now for an hour, a little over an hour. We're going to keep it short and sweet. And we're going to mention one more time for the people that just popped in. So this is, you're hearing it here first, guys. I'll do a little video to announce it, but we're getting close to the 200th show. So this is wrong. It's not 197. It's 198 today. It didn't actually update, whatever. So for those of you just tuning in, know that on our 200th live show, which should be in about 2 weeks if nothing changes, we're going to do a little contest. And what I want to see you guys send me a picture of yourselves holding either one, your favorite guitar, or two of your favorite guitars, first and second most favorite. I want to see a picture of you guys smiling. I want to put a face to the avatars that we see here. And put in your name, send it to me at my Gmail. And I posted that a couple of times in the chat. Yeah, I'll just put it one more time. If you guys missed that, I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but it's this email here. Send it to me, please, ahead of time. And then I'll show some of the pictures. I'll share that with you guys here. And we'll pick a winner. And on that day, the 200th show, I'm going to give away one of my pedals. And I'll send it to you guys free of charge, no matter where you are. And it'll be a little thank you for participating in all these live show events and making them so cool. All right. So let's please do that now. Oh, sorry. I actually mistyped it. It's not, this is the correct one here. There's the A fell off. Addicted, number 2, gearlive@gmail.com. That's where you have to send it. All right. And we'll pick the winner then and there on the 200th show, so you guys can see that for yourselves. That's it for today, guys. I think we're gonna stop it there, and we'll have lots to talk about during the next show. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, Marcel, that is right. The A was missing. I corrected it, so you guys have the right one there. Thank you for participating in today's show. Thank you for putting up with the daylight savings time fiasco and getting up a little earlier, or at least trickling in a little bit late. It's all good, but please remember, support the channel, support your addiction, and tune in regularly to the live shows because they're a lot of fun. Spread the word, and please participate in watching the videos that I put out during the week, because of course this is why we're here, to be able to feed our lust for gear. That's it for now, guys. Have a great Sunday, and please be safe and practice your guitar. Talk to you soon. Have a good one.